Acid soil. Soil that has pH value less than 7. A horizon, soil horizon, consisting of mineral soils which have the maximum of organic matter accumulation and maximum biological activity. Air porosity. The proportion of the bulk volume of soil that is filled with air at any given time or under a given condition, also called as soil porosity. Alkaline soil that has a pH value greater than 7. Alluvial fan. A fan-shaped deposit accumulated at a growth of the canyon or at the foot of the mountain. Alluvium. Sediments that which are deposited by running water or stream, also called as alluvial materials. Acid soil. Soil that has pH value less than 7. Ammonification. The process which decomposes amino acid by soil bacteria, resulting in the production of ammonia and ammonium, a negatively charged ion formed by the additional of electrons to atoms or molecules. Available water. A portion of soil water that can readily be absorbed by the plant roots. Bedrock. The solid rock underlying the soil and the regolith, which in depths ranging from 0 to several hundred feet. B horizon of a soil horizon, usually beneath the A horizon, that is characterized by the presence of concentrated silicate clays, iron, aluminum oxide, and humus. Capillary fringe. A zone just above the water table that remains almost saturated. Capillary water soil. Soil water held into soil pores that is readily absorbed by plant roots. Cation, a positively charged formed by removal by electrons from atoms or molecules. Cation exchange. The interchange between the cation and solution and another cation on the surface of any surface active material. Chemical nitrogen. Fixation. A fixation that takes place at high temperature and pressure and producing ammonia, which is used to manufacture fertilizers. Sea horizon. A mineral horizon, generally beneath the xylem that is relatively unaffected by biological activity. Clay, a soil separate consisting of particles less than 0.002 mm in diameter. Cohesion, a force holding a solid or liquid together owing to attraction between like molecules. Collivium, a deposit consisting of rock fragments and soil materials accumulated 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 at the base of steep slopes as a result of a gravitational action. Compost, compost, a mixture of organic residuals that have been peeled and allowed to undergo biological decomposition and used fertilizer. Decomposition, the process of dissolving minerals and organic materials into new. Denitrification, the biochemical reduction of nitrate or nitrate to gaseous nitrogen. Denitrifying bacteria, a bacteria that is capable of changing soluble nitrogen compound into gaseous nitrogen. Desalination, the removal salts from soil usually by leaching. Geostropism, it refers to force causing earth crust to be deformed, producing the mountain or change of level. Disintegration, the reduction of rock or smaller pieces, mainly by mechanical means. Edapology, the science that deals with the influence of soils on living things, particularly plants, including human use of land for plant growth. Elevation, the removal of soil materials from the zone of impoverishment to the zone of enrichment. Essential element, a chemical element required for the normal growth of plants. Fertile soil, a soil that has substantial amount of readily available elements necessary for plant growth. Fibrous, an organic soil which has the less decomposed of all the organic soil materials, containing very high amounts of fiber that are well preserved and readily identifiable as to botanical origin. Fixation, the process of soil by which certain chemical elements essential for plant growth are converted by exchangeable from form to non-exchangeable form. F layer, a layer of forest floor that is immediately below the litters, consisting of fragmented or partly decomposed organic materials. Food plain, the land bordering a stream built up of sediment for overflow of the stream and subject to inundation when the stream is at flood stage, also called as bottomland. Forest, an organic soil which has freely drained histosols consisting primarily of leaf litter, which some twigs and branches that rest on rocks, stones, and boulders whose voids are filled with organic matter. Forest floor. It refers to all organic matters, including litters, and decomposing organic layers resisting on the mineral acid soil surface. Gravitational water that moves into, through, or out the soil under the influence of gravity. Green manure, a plant material incorporated with the soil while green or soon after maturity for improving the soil. Humus, an organic soil which intermediate in degree of decomposition of organic materials between the less decomposed of sulfuric materials. Each layer, a layer of forest floor consisting largely of well decomposed amorphous organic matter. Humification, the process of evolving the composition organic matter and leading to the formation of humus. Humus, temporary and product of the decomposition of plant and animal remains. Hygroscopic water, a soil water held so tightly by the attraction of soil particles that it cannot be removed by the roots of the plant except as a vapor by raising the temperature above the boiling point of water. Igneous rock, a rock that is formed by cooling and solidification of hot molten material called magma. Elevation, the removal of soil materials from the zone of enrichment, the zone of impoverishment. Immature soil, a soil which with indistinct or only slightly developed horizons because of the relatively short time it has been subjected to the various swell of of forming processes. Intrusive rock. An igneous rock formed when magma penetrates and fills up the space between other rocks below the surface of the earth and then solidifies. Ion. An atom or compound that is electrically charged. Leucostrain. Deposit and lakes and later exposed either by lowering of the water level or by the elevation of land. Lava. A very hot molten mass emerging on the Earth's surface. Leaching, the downward removal of minerals into solution from the soil by percolating water. A layer of forest floor consisting to unaltered dead remains of plants and animals. Liming, the application of lime to land primarily to reduce soil acidity and supply calcium for plant growth. Loam, the textural class name for soil having a moderate amount of sand, salt, and clay. Loess, a fine-grained deposit consisting largely of slate and spread out by wind over an area. Magma, a hot molten material found several hundred meters below the surface of the earth. Mineral, refer to all chemical solids having definite regular chemical composition and exactly defined physical or crystalline properties. Moor, a forest humus in which the each layer is present and there is no mixing of surface organic matter with mineral soil. Mula forest, in which the F layer may or may not be present and each layer is completely absent. Muck, a highly decomposed organic matter in which the original plant parts are not recognized. Neutralization, the reaction between an acid and base resulting in the formation of salt and water. Nitrification, the conversion of ammonium to nitrate and nitrate to nitrate, which is usually carried out by autotrophic bacteria. Nitrogen fixing bacteria. Bacteria that is responsible for the formation of nitrogenous compounds from gaseous nitrogen. Horizon, a soil horizon consisting entirely of organic materials, usually above the A horizon. Fertilizer, organic fertilizer, a fertilizer which is the byproduct from decomposed animal or vegetable substances contained with sufficient plant nutrients. Plant parent material, the unconsolidated and more or less chemical withered minerals of or organic matters. Reduction, a chemical process in which electrons are gained, the negative valence is increased and positive valence is decreased. Residual material, an unconsolidated and partly withered minerals accumulated by disintegration of consolidated rock and clays. Real erosion, a type of erosion in which numerous small channels of only several centimeters in depth are formed. Suppressed, an organic soil which has the most highly decomposed of the organic materials, having the highest bulk density, least amount of plant fibers, and lowest water content at saturation. Sediments refer to all fine particles that settle at the bottom of rivers, lakes, and ocean. Soil, a natural body on the immediate surface of the earth composed of unconsolidated minerals, organic materials, and living forms in which plants grow. Soil aggregate, a cluster of soil particles held together as a unit and soil structure, also known as soil granules. Soil bulk density, the mass of dry soil per unit of bulk volume, including the air space. Soil classification, the systematic arrangement of soil into groups of categories on the basis of their characteristics. Soil colloid, and kind of mixture, a kind of mixture whose particles are intermediate in size between the visible particles of suspension and the invincible particles of a solution. Soil conservation, the art of combining all management and land use methods that safeguard the soil against depletion or deterioration caused by nature and human beings. Soil consistency refers to the physical condition of a soil at various particles resulting in single grain structure. Soil dispersion, the breaking of soil aggregates into individual particles resulting in the soil grain segment into single grain structure. Soil fertility, the soil's status of soil with respect to the amount of availability of elements necessary for plant growth. Soil horizon, a layer of soil approximately parallel to the soil's surface, differing in properties and characteristics from adjacent layers below or above of it. Soil particle density, the mass per unit volume of the soil particles. Soil profile, the vertical section of soil from the surface through all its horizons. Soil reaction, the degree of acidity of alkalinity of the soil, usually expressed in pH value. Topsoil, the topsoil fertile layer of the soil usually rich in organic matter. Withering refers to all physical and chemical changes produced in rocks at or near the Earth's surface by atmospheric agents.